Hey everybody, Sirturmund here again. Before we start today's video, I first wanted to thank every one of you. We have reached 1,000 subscribers, which is a big milestone for us. When I first started this channel back in January, I did not expect the amount of support that you have all shown me. So I really want to thank you so much. I really appreciate it so much. And now I can stop pestering you about subscribing to me because, But anyways, thank you so much. And because we got there, today I wanted to bring you guys a nice treat. And that's going to be TK Soraka. Yes, back by popular demand. It's the one deck that everybody knew me for before we started doing more stuff. And it's a deck that I absolutely love. Unfortunately, the deck does not do great in the current meta, or so I thought. But then I started actually playing this, and I actually did pretty okay in today's games, as you'll see coming up soon, in the games coming up soon. But this deck is super fun if you're not familiar with this archetype. So you're playing Soraka and you're playing Tahm Kench, and the whole way that you win is through this little card here called Star Spring. So Star Spring wins when at the end of the round, if you have healed 20, if it has seen you heal 22 plus damage. Now, it is very difficult because this is not like Bando Tree. If the landmark gets removed, you play a new one, you have to start all the way from zero. So it's not like Bando Tree that it's already like an 8 out of 10 or 9 out of 10 when you play it. Meaning that you have to find the Star Spring early on and put so much value on it to potentially just lose the whole game by the opponent having a Scorched Earth or Fallen Comet, right? That's kind of the nature of this deck, unfortunately, which is what makes it really tough in this meta, in my opinion, because we saw this running around. At least in the beginning, there was a lot of landmark removal. Now I feel like it's dying a little bit more. You don't really see that many Desert Naturalists anymore. Really, the only deck that's still running like a lot of landmark removal tends to be like the Naxos deck, so the Ezreal, Caitlyn's, etc. How does the deck work? The rest of the cards in the deck are really just meant to support that win condition of just healing. So a lot of the support from Bilgewater is cards that hurt themselves. So stuff like Courier deals 2 when you summon it. Botstopus, Fortune Croaker, it damages 2 of your units and lets you draw, right? So all of these cards are damaging themselves, which then get healed up by the Star Spring, which is also advancing the level up condition for Soraka. Additionally, you also have stuff like Star Shepherd, which people always underrate this card. This card becomes a huge threat if the opponent is not careful about it, because it can grow a crazy amount of power the longer it stays on the field. We have Shakedown, which is really useful because you can pull down blockers, you can pull away blockers, or you can just attack and damage your own units, like pick the blocks that you want so that you're able to get valuable trades and able to heal it back up. Obviously, we play a lot of healing cards, so we have triple Guiding Touch and triple Astral Protection. Those are our spells that are very butter from target that allows us to keep our units healthy. We do also play Pale Cascade because in this deck, draw is really important. So we want to be able to draw as much as possible. That's why we run triple Guiding Touch, triple Pale. We also have a problem against Fearsomes, so Pale Cascade lets us have 1 more power to be able to block against Fearsome. One Sunblessed Beggar, I used to be on 2 before, but instead I'm playing 1 Divergent Path as like maybe a way to potentially be able to deal with Mono Shurima if they don't get their Soothsayer. Very doubtful. Double Hush to deal with all the Victors and ambush combos. Obviously, triple Soraka is our bread and butter. She lets us draw, and she herself can take a Star Spring from like 0 to 22 in the matter of like 2 turns. It's crazy because she can heal herself and the ally all the way to full, which a lot of times your allies could have a lot of health. 1 Bastion as potentially a get out of jail card against something like Vengeance. 3 Broadblood Protector is the way that we beat aggro. I hate when people cut this card from this deck. You need to run 3 of these cards because if you're able to have 1 or 2 of these versus an aggro matchup, you have such a much bigger edge than if you have nothing. So I always say triple Broadblood Protector is a key card in this deck. And then lastly, triple TK, which the whole role of Tahm Kench is to really stop the opponent, right? The threat of the acquired taste can stop the opponent from developing their big units, and you're just able to eat them up if they do develop them anyway. So really good card as well at just kind of locking down the opponent. I also have a guide on this deck in Mastering Runeterra, so I'll link that below for you guys to check it out if this video is not enough, because obviously there's so much that I can just give in this little intro. But yeah, I mean, enjoy the games coming up soon. I wanted to go back to TK Raka as we celebrate 1,000 subscribers. So again, thank you so much for that. And just, expect to continue seeing more videos from us here every single day as we continue this grind that is YouTube. But yeah, thank you so much. And I'll see you at the end of the video for some mulligan tips. So in this matchup, we'll be up against Mono Shurima. I think like they're able to just go much faster than us, unfortunately, which is a big problem. No Starsprung is really sad. I hate kicking the Boxopus. Boxopus is so good, but I think I have to kick it. I think at most we keep Soraka. Okay, we get the Boxopus back. We also get a Starsprung, and we still get Soraka. This is a great hand. This is a really great hand. Now, can we get something better than Pel Cascade, though? That's the question. Protector is not bad, because the Sundance decks do tend to do a lot of damage early on that we need to be careful about. So we can be okay with this. I actually think... So Boxopus here is good, because that way the Boxopus doesn't get tagged by a Rock Hopper or Unravel Earth. And we know that the Shurima opponents don't play any pings aside from Rider of Arcane, right? So by summoning the Boxopus right here, it means that we can summon the Landmark next turn, or we can even just summon the... Well, no, we always do the Landmark first, right? So even if we take 5 damage here, that's okay, because remember, we still have the Brock back, right? So there you go. Opponent is going to do 5 damage to us. We can do the Broadback Protector next turn. We can start healing it back up while still having the Starsprung on the field. That's starting to work out. Now, we do have to be careful about here that if the opponent has the Desert Naturalist, which I know a lot of them have been cutting from the Sundance list, but you never know. He could have one, right? Not having a second Starsprung is gonna hurt. But this is why they didn't care about the damage, because we had the Broadback Protector heal. Soraka is going to be a 2 out of 4. Opponent actually passes. Tahm Kench would be so good here, because Tahm Kench would allow me to like lock him down from summoning the units. Ask and you shall receive. The opponent looks like they're playing the Predict version of this deck. We had to develop Tahm Kench right here, right? We developed Tahm Kench right here, 100%. We still need to be careful with the Rider of Arcane. So maybe we just take all this damage. Maybe we just take all this damage. Yeah, oh, opponent just attacked me one. Opponent, I'm never gonna block there, man. So if the opponent does a Rider of Arcane here, they have to sacrifice one of their mana gems. Okay, so this is the Predict version of the deck. They're going full Predict. Having access to Shakedown is huge as well, because it's going to let us heal our Birdback Protector to full health, right? We can start pulling a lot of the units that the opponent's going to have. Soraki's leveled up, so we get a little bit of a draw here. We have the Acquired Taste to lock the opponent down. So Soraka comes here. She's going to heal for 5 more. And the opponent's going to be in a big timer, right? So now that's going to be 9. With Soraka on the field, it's gonna get crazy really quickly. Like, you'll be surprised how quickly this gets. We can even do the Shakedown to start clearing his board, to be honest. Although I actually don't know if it's actually correct to do that. I don't think it's actually correct to do that, to spend the Shakedown. I think opponent just kind of grifted here a little bit, right? Because now he's gonna have to have either the Stasis or have a second Asir. So we just need to have the Hourglass. Yeah, there you go. So opponent has the Hourglass. Good for them. Opponent's still going to be in a threat that anytime that... I guess the Asir is not leveled up yet. Do I want to give him the board space? We're not going to pull this. We're not going to pull this because I don't want this to die and give the opponent a landmark. So we're just going to go like this. Yep, we're just gonna go like this. That way, no matter which one he blocks with the devout, it's not gonna matter. Technically, it's less damage on our Boxopus, but I don't want to give the opponent the landmark to potentially be able to level up the Seraph or the Asir. Opponent doesn't even block. Now, if the opponent has the round of negation, how scary is that? I mean, sorry, the Rite of Arcane right here. Unraveler. Okay. Do we want to give him that? I don't think I do. I think I'm going to hold back the Fortune Croaker. I think we're in a spot where we can slowly try to lock them down. Problem is Asir's going to level up right here, right? Like, opponent just needs to open attack and the Asir will level up. But as long as we don't summon any other... Okay. As long as we don't summon any other unit, we're in a decent position against Seraph. And we literally don't have to summon any other units. Opponent would like to play Seraph right here. As long as they have 4 mana, I can never do the Acquired Taste. Like, I don't think I need to summon any other units. I mean, I guess at some point I will have to, because I'm gonna not get enough healing. Right? I'm not gonna get enough healing, but the opponent also needs to start doing their stuff here sooner rather than later, right? So we can start actually taking all that damage that we talked about. This can ping the spell shield, but I don't think it matters to hurt this anymore. We can just drag that here. We can grab this. We can grab this, right? So we can grab this like this and just put the damage into our units without killing the devout. So now we're at 15. We're taking 5, 7 damage here. So we're gonna be, this is exactly 22 right here. After the damage that we take right here, it's gonna be exactly 22 once our units heal back up. All without us summoning another unit, by the way. Not only that, but the moment that the opponent tries to do, like, again, the only scary part here is that the opponent somehow has a Desert Naturalist. They could also have the second Stasis. That will enable them to level up the Seraph, right? Next turn. Which is kind of annoying. In which case, we can potentially just win right here. Because we have enough units. I think we have enough units to get to 22 here. I don't know if we have the mana. I just don't see how the opponent can win anymore here. Yeah, here we go. If opponent decides to pass, we just pass back. Even if we're burning cards, I think it's fine. Because again, after this, we're going to be at 18. All right, so he did it this way so that he could level up his Seraph, right? Because this destroys the landmark and allows him to level up Seraph. So opponent is gonna have Seraph in their hand, meaning that they're gonna get another Seraph. Still gonna have 4 mana even after they do display, right? So the opponent's still gonna have 4 mana, meaning that they're gonna have access to another Rite of Arcane. We're still at 7 away. This is able to heal us for 3, because the Soraka is at. So this would take us to 18, 19, 20. What's gonna get tagged here? We need to be careful as well. Right? So we need to be careful because when the Seraph comes down over here, it's gonna tag our Soraka. So we need to actually give... I guess it's gonna tag either the Protector or the Soraka, depending on which one we put this on, right? So we can go like this. We can go like this. Right? So what this means is that when the opponent drops down their Seraph right here, it's gonna tag the Soraka because she's at 2 sits, same as Tahm Kench. It's gonna bring her down to 1 HP. Oh wait, he doesn't even have Seraph. Wait a second. Opponent doesn't even have Seraph. I still think that was a great play, right? Because he summons Seraph. This goes down to 1 HP. We do Astral Protection on it. And there it is. He drew it. He drew it, which is what we were scared of, right? So he finally got the Desert Naturalist. And now if the opponent actually gets their units, then we lose. Unfortunately, we're in a position as well. Do we need to draw? We're in a very bad position now. We need to draw. We need to draw, eat up the Rolling Sands right now while we have the chance. We get the second Star Spring, so we can start right away working on it. The problem is that the progress gets restart. So if the opponent draws the Seraph, we're in a bad spot all over again. Hush is pretty good. So opponent gets the Seraph. Looks like they didn't top deck that. Looks like they actually got it right off the bat. Do we have enough to survive? Now, we need to be careful again about the fact that the opponent has another Seraph in their hand. So the Rider Negation does a lot to us. I'm sorry, the Rider of Arcane does a lot to us. We could just eat up the Seraph. So if we eat up the Seraph right here, opponent, a second Seraph could still kill us. Like a second Rider of Arcane, sorry. If the opponent has a Rider of Arcane, it will kill us. We're going to have to hush our own TK, right? Opponent decides to do what? Stasis or the Rider Negation here? Stasis, okay. I think we're still in a good spot. Right? Oh no, opponent's going to have double Seraph here. So opponent's going to have double Seraph. This is at 8. This takes it all the way up to 15, right? Which is not enough. This is better off for next turn. This is gonna do 5 and 5. It's gonna hit 5, 5. Gonna do 5, 5. I think we're okay. I think this is gonna win us the game. Because this is gonna do... It's gonna attack our units right here. Yeah, there you go. So we're still in a good spot. We can still pull, right? Because we can pull. We wanna eat that Seraph, I think. We want to eat that Seraph and then just attack with the Soraka while healing the Tahm Kench. Yes, I think this is correct. I think we try to eat up one Seraph first, right? So now when we attack with Soraka here, we're going to be healing up a lot. There we go. We pull and pull here. This is going to take us to 23 and that's game. Woo! I think we got there. Because remember we had the Sunbless Bigger on the Soraka from way earlier. So the fact that she was already pinged by the Seraph meant that we were able to heal 5 here and another 5 here. So that was exactly 10. And there we go. Oh man, maybe we should have summoned the second Star Spring, to be honest. But in case the opponent had a second Desert Naturalist, a second Star Spring actually probably was the play. But I don't know. It was too risky, I think, to give him another action. So there we go. We got through another Sun this game. So yeah, GG's. So in this matchup, we'll be going up against Aphelios Vi Zoe. Opponent can have access to Fallen Comet, which makes us really sad. Opponent also has access to some of their removal from PNC, which also makes us really sad. There's a lot of things in this deck that makes us really sad. The double Boxopus is kind of greedy because we don't have any way to heal them. I'm just going to hope that we join to something that can heal them. Okay, not a great hand. We don't have the heal. So the Boxopus becomes really risky. The Boxopus becomes really, really risky here. Okay, we get the Guiding Touch. But now it's kind of tough because now we have to wait until turn 4 to summon the Boxopus. Because otherwise it's just going to die, right? Oh, and we have TK. Yep, opponent gets a Fallen Comet. Oh, they're thinking about it. They didn't... Okay, oh wow. It looks like they picked it pretty quickly afterwards. So they either get the Fallen Comet or they don't get the Fallen Comet, right? What if we just do TK first? What if it's actually Tahm Kench first? So that if they have the Fallen Comet, they either have to decide the Star Spring or they have to decide killing the Tahm Kench. Oh, that's great. That's one miss. So they didn't get the Fallen Comet from Priestess. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Vi here is kind of annoying, though. Oh, we have the Astral Protection, though. That Astral Protection is huge. So TK is putting a lot of pressure here. The opponent cannot just outright stop them. Do I need to stop this Zoe? I don't think I do. I don't think I do. I think the Zoe is not... It's only one of Zoe, right? I think it's better to keep our TK for later, in my opinion. We could also do the Astral Protection right here, but I'm scared of the Equinox here, right? So I think we just let it go and we just develop the second Boxopus. So the second Boxopus now means that we're going to start putting some progress here. This is actually going to become a pretty big threat that the opponent has to worry about. We can pull the Zoe next turn with one of the Boxopus. I don't want to play the Acquired Taste because if opponent has Aphelios, they are waiting for us to play the Acquired Taste. This is one of the threats of this card that you can just hold it, right? Okay. So opponent taps out, right? So since opponent tapped out, I'm willing to do the Acquired Taste now and just eat up their 3-4, which is their biggest unit. We have the Guiding Touch to protect anything that we might do, that the opponent might do, and we can start hitting the TK all over again. Boom. This girl is becoming really, really big, and the opponent needs to be careful about her. Can go ahead and do this. No need to do anything else, right? I'm actually considering a second Star Spring. It's actually a good idea. Because I'm still scared of the opponent getting like the answer from like a Fallen Comet or something like that. So I think right now, this is probably the best time to do it. And just get another second Star Spring running on the field. It will heal everything back up. Now, do we want to put the second Star Spring right now? That's the question. I guess not unless the opponent taps out of the 5 mana. Oh, okay, there we go. So they go ahead and do their little Moon Boy. Unfortunately, don't think we can eat him, right? Because Spell Cascade means that this goes down to... this is going to die. And the Guiding Touch is not enough to protect against a Mystic Shot. So I think we just do the Star Spring. Yeah, I think we just do the Star Spring. He's going to have the Calibrum here to kill one of the Boxopus. But it's possible that he doesn't go for Calibrum here. It's possible that he decided to hold back for something else. Yep, Equinox is what he got from the Super Cool Chant, and he ended up doing it on the Shepherd. So he got scared of how big she was. If the opponent has the Calibrum right here, they go ahead and kill this one because we cannot heal it with Guiding Touch, which is pretty smart, right? So opponent's going to have access to Pale Cascade still, so we need to be careful about that. In which case, we want to be able to... No, because if we do anything, we can still die to a Mystic Shot, right? Or a Thermal. So we just hold it back and just heal up. There's absolutely no reason. Now, the Graviton is really annoying because it's going to lock down our Boxtopus, right? It locks down our Boxtopus, which is really annoying. Opponent gets the Vi. Opponent gets the Vi, which means that he can just kill our unit. So he's always going to be able to kill our Tahm Kench because we end up not drawing into the... We end up not drawing... Because we end up not drawing into the thing, right? Into the Hush. Like, Hush would be such a punish for this right here. So all we can do is just try to heal as much as possible. So all we can do at this point is do the Acquired Taste. Now, again, this is not going to matter too much because the Tahm Kench is going to die. But I just need to be able to get a lot of value from the Astral Protection. So that will push this to 3, right? This will push this to 3. Opponent doesn't get the Zoe back. Well, yeah, because we kill the Zoe. What are we talking about? Do we need to do it now? I don't think we do. I think we just let it go. Imagine if we had Hush there, man. Opponent would get so punished. We play double Hush exactly for this reason. For these units. Yeah, cool, cool. You get Aphelios back. You get to stun us anyways. So you're able to stop the Challenger. But then we have the Shakedown to still potentially kill it. The problem is that we don't have any unit that can actually kill it. So maybe the Acquired Taste didn't really matter because we ended up not committing to it. Yeah, we ended up not committing to it. The problem is this. The problem is Graviton being able to just lock down our Boxtopus. Because no matter what we have, as long as this is not like doing any damage, it's not gonna matter, right? Now, we are at 9 out of 22, so can we get there? I think the answer is yes. I think the answer is that we could get there. We could get there because we have a lot of like value here that the opponent needs to be careful about. So we can get a lot of healing here really quickly. What am I doing? We're always attacking with this one. Now, we get punished here by a Pale Cascade. But then it gives us space to a Fortune Croaker. Opponent ends up not having the Pale Cascade. So, this is very good for us. This is very good for us, right? This is very good for us because this is going to give us an additional 8. This is going to put our Starspring almost in lethal range. Opponent decides to go right here with this. We can go ahead and do the Astral Protection. So now we heal 3 and we get another set of stuff here. Opponent just spend their burn. We're still in a good spot. We're up at 20, meaning that we actually win the game already with the Guiding Touch, as long as we don't die over here. So how do we die over here? This is 5, this is 5. Opponent's gonna be looking for their Falling Comet right here, right? To tag the first landmark. But because we have 2 of them, they're still going to be in a tough spot. Because we can have 2, 3... I guess we're actually going to be 1 off. That's a problem. That's one way that we potentially don't win now, right? The Overwhelm is really big. The Overwhelm is really big. Because he can... I need to do Soraka. I need to do Soraka so that we can potentially draw twice. So I need to look for the Hush. I need to look for the Hush, and the Soraka allows me to get 2 draws with the Guiding Touch. If opponent goes like this, and we just go down to 3, It's not enough. They could have, I guess, Aftershock, right? Or get excited. We definitely just want to do this. So we want to do this first, right? Because this puts us down to 5. We end up not drawing the Hush, unfortunately. But we're able to beat their stuff, right? We're able, because we drew into the double in the double guiding touch, we're always now able to beat their burn. Not only that, but one landmark is already a 22 out of 22. The other one is a 19 out of 22, which means that at the end of this turn, it will heal all 3 of these units and take us to 22 and win the game. I think that's game. Yeah, see, and he does it. Doesn't matter. This one is a 19 out of 22, so it's gonna finish the game at the end of the turn. No need for us to spend anything, because the way that it works is that it's gonna trigger at the end of the turn. So there you go, and that's game. That was close. That was very, very close. So he hit the Fallen Comet, and the double Star Spring ended up coming in clutch there. But that's as close as it gets. We got lucky that he whiffed the first Solari Priestess, even if he hit the second one. That overrun buy was really scary. So yeah, GG's. So in this matchup, we'll be going up against Caitlyn Ezreal. What a way to start. Probably one of our worst matchups right at the bat. I think I just need to mulligan for the Star Spring. I think I'm gonna need at least 2 Star Spring to have a chance in this game. Okay, we get both of them. So we need to hope that the opponent doesn't have 2 Scorched Earths by the time that we finish this game. Okay, okay. This one. Alright, okay, that's not a horrible start. Not the worst start either. The problem is the flocks, right? So the flocks are just gonna ping all our units before they even get to heal themselves up. Now this is not bad. So this is not bad because now we have the Guiding Touch, right? So with the Guiding Touch on the field, it's pretty good. I would love to summon the second Star Spring. Oh, okay. Yep, there you go. Scorcher number 1. Alright, alright, alright. Second Star Spring on the field. Opponent could have Flock. Doesn't have the Flock. Now we're talking. We're in a decent spot. The rest of our hand looks very, very bad though. So I guess we'll just push our 2 damage and just wait for the second Scorched Earth to come down. Opponent has 2 cards created from the Financier. Doesn't look like they have anything else that's like crazy, so it's been pretty good right now. Just sucks that our hand is not, like, we need more units now, right? Perfect. That's a good unit. Especially because we have the Astral Protection as to back it up and heal it all the way up to full. If opponent doesn't have the second Scorched Earth, we might have a chance. This is why I said that it was so important for us to get that second landmark. They could get the second Scorched Earth right here. And if they don't get it, then we have 5 turns to be able to win the game. They saw 3 spells. They saw 3 spells and they chose the Flock. So they saw 3 spells and they chose the Flock. That's pretty good for us. So we know they're gonna have another Flock coming up soon, and the other 3 spells potentially they're not Scorched Earth, unless the opponent really has the Scorched Earth in their hand. In which case I'm very surprised they didn't just Scorched Earth the Star Spring right away. Oh man, if we get Soraka, I think we actually have a great chance because we have a great hand for Soraka with the shakedowns. What is opponent thinking here? Maybe they're trying to do double Mystic? But then double Mystic will have gotten punished by the Sunblast Bigger. So that's not bad. Opponent's gonna do another Flock. This is dealing 2. This is dealing another 3. That's gonna be 5. Keeping the Bossopus at 3 health. Right? We're still gonna have enough mana to do Sunblast Bigger and Guiding Touch. We obviously cannot do it in the Courier. So we can go like this. And then we're threatened by like a Mystic and other stuff like that. We keep this card with the vulnerable on it for later. Opponent has 3 spells in the next 5 cards. They get the second flock right here. We're able to do the guiding touch. It's pretty good. Tells me that the opponent has something else to stop this Botstopus, which is pretty awkward here. Right? I think I need to keep the Botstopus alive. I think it's okay if this card dies. I think what we need to keep alive is the Botstopus. Like at this point, the Botstopus is more important. Opponent showed us the second flock. Okay, so if they have like a Mystic Shot or anything like that, then this is gonna lose to that, right? Opponent still has so opponent ended up join all their flocks. Or I mean, well, I guess the second flock. If the opponent has another spell, then we lose. Then we lose the Botstopus if we do the Bastion. I think we're actually supposed to let this go. So now our hand is really awkward because we don't have anything else to heal. We don't have our Soraka. I guess. Alright. 2 Star Springs were good. 3 is a little bit too much. Opponent gets a Progress Day from Ferrous, of course. I guess opponent's telling us to just go ahead and do this. I really need something else. Like, this is not going to be enough unless I get one of my champions or another unit. So now here we still have to worry about like Mystic Shot and stuff like that. Right? Another Static Shock is annoying. Tri-Beam is also annoying because he can do a lot. Well, actually, Tri-Beam hasn't really had to. Like, his Tri-Beam is only at 2. Oh, he just casually gets a Shock Blast. Just casually gets a Shock Blast like that. So Ferrous Financier gave him Progress Day and Shock Blast. Okay, that's actually good because this is gonna save this card, right? Unless the opponent has a 0 mana flock. If the opponent has the 3rd flock in their hand and it costs 0 mana, then we're in trouble. And regardless, we're still in trouble here if the opponent gets another Scorched Earth or anything else. Soraka is leveled up, but we literally have no protection to save her. Okay, okay. Absolutely no reason for us not to do this right now. I don't want to give him this because he's going to get a free Mystic here, right? Opponent also will... I just might die, to be honest, though. We're at 13 HP. We're at 13 HP. This puts us at 10. Opponent decides to go here. Now that he used the Mystic, I have to do the Fortune Croaker. Even if it means that Botstopus might die. Because I need to force the opponent to have something else here. Yeah, and the Piltover Peacemaker is not bad for us. Opponent could easily have a Thermal. Right? This is not enough. And there it is. Wow, yeah, opponent has everything. So now we go to 7 HP. Opponent still has Ezreal on the field. Next time they win. The triple Star Spring just kind of ruined our day. Just 2 have been enough. And then, yeah, just 2 would have been fine. Because opponent now just needs to get like a Pharaohs. Pharaoh, sorry, and they win the game. The double Pharaohs hits were also pretty crazy. And then he gets the Tri-Beam. Alright. Alright. You can see why this deck struggles a little bit against Ezreal Karma. But yeah, GG's. So in this matchup, we'll be going up against Mono Shurima. We run 1. Okay, so we have... okay, this hand is not horrible. And we do run 1 of the Divergent Path. So what we need here is our units. Like, this hand is not bad, but I think at this point, because we have the Star Spring, we want to be able to get our units so that we can start actually damaging our own units, right? And this is a great hand. This is a pretty good hand here to start with. with Soraka, Starspring, and Botstopus on the field. Sometimes they do still run the Desert Naturalist. So maybe we wanna keep double Starspring actually. Maybe double Starspring will actually do a lot of work here. Not only that, but double Starspring is also very good. Just in general, getting our Starspring to level up really quickly, right? I think it's too early to do the Pale Cascade, even though the opponent's kind of giving it to us here. I don't care about the damage because we can always do the Protector, right? We also have the Astral Projection here. We have Tahm Kench. We have the TK. So with the TK on the field, I'm gonna let it go with the Rolling Sands. It means that the opponent's gonna have a hard time summoning their champions, right? Here we can do Soraka next turn as well. Like I really don't care about all the Rolling Sands, to be honest. It's because our units have a lot of health. I mean, okay, I do care about it. I care about it a lot. As long as we keep the Acquired Taste in our hand, opponent will not be able to like do almost anything. So, what's the play here? Do we actually commit the second Starspring? We might have to, because I am kind of worried about the Desert Naturalist. The problem is that we want to be able to keep enough mana to be able to save the TK if the opponent summons like a Seraph right here, right? Like we could just pass here. I think the pass is actually much better here than anything else we might do. Yep, I'm just gonna pass. There's no reason for me to get greedy with the Boxopus just yet, because TK is gonna more or less kind of lock them down in a very bad spot, right? And we're gonna have the Astral Protection as a backup to be able to save TK. We don't even have to put damage on the TK right here. We do the second Starspring, so now even if the opponent has one Desert Naturalist, they're gonna need two of them. That's why our opponent wanted to clear up their board so that they could summon a second Rolling Sands. They do the Devout. So now that the opponent does the Devout, I'm actually gonna just eat up the Devout. Because the Devout, that way he will not get the Sarcophagus from this card. We still have enough mana for the Astral Protection here. And we can summon the Star Shepherd and actually start presenting a lot of aggro threat, right? Opponent's gonna go... Okay, I thought the opponent was gonna go for the... Really thought the opponent was gonna go for the play right there where they try to actually kill my TK with the Rite of Arcane. They don't. So this Star Shepherd is gonna put a lot of damage into them. Because this is what's gonna happen here. She's gonna go all the way up to like I think 10 or 12. 12. She's gonna go all the way to 12. Actually, she's gonna go all the way. No, because it's only 2, right? Yeah. So she's actually gonna be able to present lethal. So opponent's gonna need to have Quicksand because everybody always underestimates just how much damage you can just do with the Star Shepherd, and that's why I love this card. And here we go. That's exactly 20 right there. So now opponent needs to do something else. Otherwise, they just lose on the open attack. We have a board that we literally don't have to summon anything else here. Yep. Yep. This is why I would never get rid of this card in the deck. Star Shepherd literally just takes people by surprise. Because you can pull blockers away with the Botstopus. And you can pull blockers away using the Shakedown. Which you saw that we ended up top decking there from the Soraka drop. So yeah, GG's. So in this matchup, we'll be going up against Darkness. Okay, so it used to be that this was a really good counter for Darkness. Not saying that it's not the case anymore, but it is a lot tougher, I think. Because the Darkness from the opponent can get out of control really quickly, especially if they're able to get the... Like, if they get the down Catalyzer, which he kept one card. If he gets the down Catalyzer early on, like, we're going to have to literally sacrifice a Botstopus into it. Which puts us in a really, really bad spot. We don't have Guiding Touch either here. Do I need to kill that Catalyzer? Because that Darkness being at 4 damage can actually just do so much value. I think our hand doesn't allow us to do that though. I think our hand means that we have to summon the Botstopus. And if the opponent happens to have double Battle Feast right here, then we just lose the game. or Battlefield and Pokestick. If the opponent has 2 pings for this Botstopus, we just lose the game. Okay. I think I'm okay doing this. What if we Bastion this? So I like the Bastion here. The reason that I like the Bastion here is because this now becomes a 4-attack challenger that can actually take their Veigar down. Right? And the opponent's going to have to commit 2 cards to try to kill this. And we have a Pale Cascade to back it up. Yeah, like... The Battle Feast is not going to be enough because we still... The Bastion also gives us 1 health, right? Oh, never mind. We lose to the Darkness anyway. So this is what I was talking about. Like, this is just so punishing. Because now we lose like a 1 chance of winning. The Starscream is only at 1. And their Darkness is already literally like a... What? That was 4 damage that he's doing. Opponent has Vengeance, can kill TK because we already spent our first Bastion. Our only Bastion, actually. Yeah, they can literally just ping TK twice right here. Ping it once, ping it twice, call it a day. In the meantime, we're taking 7 damage, right? And they can just do the second Darkness. We don't even have a way to protect it against the second Darkness. We can do Soraka, and what's that gonna do? The Pale Cascade is not enough. We will have to literally top deck into something else, into like a Guiding Touch. Yeah, we have to like top deck into like a Guiding Touch for us to have a chance. Opponent decides to pass, which I might be okay with. Yeah, I have to be okay with this pass, but the fact that they literally just push all this damage like that, and we still have nothing to show for it, is huge. Man, that Catalyzer made all the difference. Catalyzer into Senna, like, we're always losing now. Just because of that. And we don't even have our heals here. So opponent could literally just have another ping. I guess we get the Astral Protection. I just don't know if that's enough. The good thing is that if it is like another ping, it means that the opponent taps out of a lot of answers here, right? So the opponent doesn't have the Vengeance anymore. But we also tap out of like everything else in the game, and we're only at 5. He's gonna ping something right here, yeah. Fortunately, we can heal the Tahm Kench a little bit more, while also leveling up the Soraka, which is not the end of the world. We have a second Soraka on the field. The TK is really biffy. Like, really biffy. It's gonna give us a draw here. Yeah, it's gonna give us a draw. It's gonna take us to 10, so now we need to find the 12. Opponent gets the double Darkness again. And we actually need to block this time. So we cannot just take the damage because we just lose to we just lose to the Stally, right? We don't get our heal cards. We do have the Soraka Wish, which is pretty good, I think. Opponent does Darkness on one of these units. The question is, which one is he gonna do it on? Opponent should attack with everything else. He didn't attack with everything else like they're supposed to. What do you have? You have the Vengeance, I guess? He has 6 mana. He could potentially have the Vengeance. It's risky that the opponent is doing this. I think he needed to put pressure on us. Double his Tally still takes him like 2 turns to do. I guess Veigar is kind of annoying. Opponent's trying to bait us out, bait the Vengeance out of it here. Right? So by doing the Vengeance, opponent's kind of like putting himself in a decent spot. Probably just need to do nothing right now, right? Because if we try to do the Acquired Taste and the opponent does the Vengeance, he goes back up with 9 mana. I guess we do the Acquired Taste, and if the opponent has the Vengeance, then it is what it is.
I can be patient.
Do we care about Vengeance? Because if we don't do it now, he's gonna do it later anyways. I think we just burn the mana. I think we just burn the mana, right? And we do this. Problem is that this is dealing 4, right? So because this is dealing 4, it makes it really awkward on what we can drag. Because anything that we drag here, so this, it needs to be, because if we drag this, we're putting our Soraka in range of dying. If we drag this, TK is gonna still be a sit, so we could drag here, drag here. The vulnerable is huge. We need to take advantage of the vulnerable. I just want to see how I want to do this. I think we drag both. I think we drag both and force the opponent to choose which one he's gonna kill, right? So we force the opponent to choose which one he wants to kill right here by pulling like this. This takes us to 16. Unfortunately, we don't have anything else. Opponent does the ruination. That's huge for us. Wait, that's actually huge for us. Unless the opponent has, because we have a second Tahm Kench. We have the Hush for the Vengeances. We have the Hush for the Veigar, sorry. We have a second Soraka, a second TK, and we're still at 16. And we can actually eat up the Octopus right here, because the Darkness is only doing... He's going to try to tag it. And we can actually eat up the Octopus right here and get the free 1 damage. I guess we can't. I forgot. The acquired taste was from the other Tahm Kench, so we actually cannot eat it up. We need to do damage to ourselves. So we're 6 away. We're 6 away. We're 6 away. How do we do damage to ourselves? I think we need to dig. I think we need to dig. Opponent could have Vengeance here, right? Which is kind of annoying. And I definitely think we just need to dig though. Okay, that's not what we wanted. We need to just do the burst pass and see what he does first. Wow, he's gonna just let us get this. I guess we'll play it this slow. I think I'm okay with the pass. I think I'm okay just taking it really slow here. Woo! This is gonna force him to have to commit something to kill this. So I think we always start with the Octopus. A second Ruination makes us really sad, but we still get a draw right here. Yeah, he goes like this. We do the Astral Protection. So now we actually have lethal in the board. So we have lethal in the board right here because of the Darkness damaging our Octopus. If this goes through and the opponent lets us heal him, then that's game. And no matter what, we also still have a Caustic Courier as well. So this is 4. And that's game, we got there. Wow. Oh my god. With the start that we had, we still made it there. What is going on today? What is going on? We actually got to 350 LP with TK Raka. Woo! These games, and this is why I love this deck. You have to think about so many minuscule decisions and calculations of like when to spend your mana, when to just lock them down, etc. Oh man, that was great. I think opponent kind of threw though that turn that they didn't attack with his other 2 units and just attack with Senna, but we take those. We take those. GG's. Welcome back, everybody. This is why I love this deck. You saw just how crazy and close all those matches were. Like, it's just so fun to really think about like all these small decisions that you need to do to actually get to your win condition and be able to trigger the Star Spring. So if you like this type of game style, I definitely always recommend this deck to people because it's really just fun. And we even did really well. We ended up going all the way to 350 LP. Like, what? How does that happen in this meta with this deck? So yeah. In terms of mulligan, you kind of saw there a little bit. Obviously, you want to be able to get the Star Spray. Soraka is not a bad keep if you already have some other decent cards in your hand. And Botstopus is something that I like to keep more often than not as well, because the Botstopus is one of the best cards in this deck. You can do a lot of threat with that. So really, Star Spring, Botstopus, and Soraka tend to be the only things that I keep. And really, the only time that I keep Botstopus and Soraka is if I really have a Star Spring in my hand. So for the most part, just try to have mulligan for at least one Star Spring. And if you already have it in your hand, then that's when you can get picky and start keeping more. Keeping more of your other units, right? There are certain matches where keeping Tahm Kench is important, right? So if you're going against something like, I don't know, like a Lee Sin against Victor, it's not bad either, right? Because they summon their Victor on 4, you summon your Tahm Kench on 4, and then you're able to eat up the Victor next turn before it gets too big for you to handle. So it's worth keeping Tahm Kench in certain matches where you know you need to deal with the opponent's key units. But yeah, again, I have a full guide on this deck if you want to learn more about it. And not a lot has changed since I made that guide. I think really the only change is that we added one Divergent Path. And maybe I was only playing one Hush back then. Well, you know, whatever it is. But the rest of the deck has pretty much been the same for the past like year and a half. So not a lot has changed with this deck. So the guide should still be top notch, except for probably the matchup tables, because obviously now we have a lot of different decks in the meta. But yeah, I'll link that below so you can check it out. If you like the content, please make sure to like the video below and to subscribe to us as well. You can also find us on Twitch at Sirturmund, where we stream 3 to 4 times a week. And you can also find us on Twitter and Discord. The links to those are both in the description below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.